Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivane Dhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivane Dhari. Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana. Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana. Brajagana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivane Dhari. Vallabha Girivane Dhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivane Dhari. Vallabha Girivane Dhari. Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana. Ranjana. Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana. Ranjana Brajagana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhagavacharya Satarya Srimad Divine Grace H.D. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Gauda Vaishnavinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem Sakoshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki, ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Navadvip Dham ki, Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Chamuna Mai ki, Ganga Mai ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakta Devi ki, Shri Radha Golokananda ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, so we're continuing our reading of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Madhya Lila chapter 20, and we're text 33. Here we have Sanatana Goswami got released from prison. He paid the jailer a large sum of coins, and they've been traveling. They stayed at an inn, and his servant, Ishan, kept some coins that Sanatana Goswami didn't know about. And Sanatana Goswami, when they stayed at this inn, he realized this innkeeper was being extra nice. Or, he could pick up on some subtle things there that he was being more nice than he probably should have been. So he kind of realized there had to be a reason. And the reason was because his servant had these coins, and this innkeeper had some astrologist or somebody that, able to reveal to him the fact that they were carrying some gold coins. So anyway, Sanatana Goswami approached this innkeeper. When he found out he asked Ishan, "Do you carrying any gold coins with you?" And he revealed he had 6. And so he said, "Give me the gold coins." Went and gave them to the shopkeeper. And then the shopkeeper, because he felt, "Okay, I'll help you without, you don't have to give me the coins." But Sanatana Goswami said, "If you don't take them, somebody else is going to try to steal them." So he convinced him to take the gold coins, and then he helped them across the. But then the innkeeper revealed that he had 7 gold coins. So Ishan wasn't really honest at first. So he goes back to him, "Do you got another coin?" And he said, "Yes, I do." And so then he sent him home. At that point, he said, "You have to go. You can't take that coin, go back home." Which is an interesting lesson, because he wasn't going to surrender fully. And that cost him the association of Lord Chaitanya, Ishan. He had to, because he tried to keep something materially, didn't fully surrender there, didn't understand it. So that's actually a good lesson to us. Anyway, so Om Ganda Timarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshar Om Litam Yinetashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. 33. We'll start at 33. After this settlement was made, the landlord gave Sanatana Goswami 4 watchmen to accompany him. They went through the forest path for the whole night, and thus brought him over a hilly tract of land. After crossing the hills, Sanatana Goswami told his servant, "Ishan, I think you still have some balance left from the gold coins." Ishan replied, "I still have 1 gold coin in my possession." Sanatana Goswami then said, "Take the coin and return to your home." After departing from Ishan, Sanatana Goswami began traveling alone with a water pot in his hand, simply covered with a torn quilt. He thus lost all anxiety. Walking and walking, Sanatana Goswami finally arrived at a place called Hajipur. That evening, he sat down within a garden. In Hajipur, there was a gentleman named Sri Kanta, who happened to be the husband of Sanatana Goswami's sister. He was engaged there in government service. Srikanta had 300,000 gold coins with him, which had been given to him by the emperor for the purchase of horses. Thus, Srikanta was buying horses and dispatching them to the emperor. When Srikanta was sitting in an elevated place, he could see Sanatana Goswami. That night, he took a servant and went to see Sanatana Goswami. When they met, they had many conversations. Sanatana Goswami told him in detail about his arrest and release. Srikanta then told Sanatana Goswami, "Stay here for at least 2 days and dress up like a gentleman. Abandon these dirty garments." Sanatana Goswami replied, "I shall not stay here even for a moment. Please help me cross the Ganges. I shall leave immediately." With great care, Srikanta gave him a woolen blanket and helped him cross the Ganges. Thus Sanatana Goswami departed again. After a few days, this blanket will come into play later, that he got this gift from his brother-in-law. After a few days, Sanatana Goswami arrived at Varanasi. He was very pleased to hear about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival there. Sanatana Goswami then went to the house of Chandrasekhar and sat down by the door. Understanding what was happening, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Chandrasekhar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "There is a devotee at your door. Please call him in." Going outside, Chandrasekhar could not see a Vaishnava at his door. He didn't understand that, fully what a Vaishnava was. When Chandrasekhar informed the Lord that no Vaishnava was at his door, the Lord asked him, "Is there anyone at your door?" Chandrasekhar replied, "There's a Muslim mendicant." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately said, "Please bring him here." Chandrasekhar then spoke to Sanatana Goswami, who was still sitting beside the door. "O Muslim mendicant, please come in. The Lord is calling you." Sanatana Goswami was very pleased to hear this order, and he entered Chandrasekhar's house. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Sanatana Goswami in the courtyard, he immediately went up to him with great haste. After embracing him, the Lord was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana was also overwhelmed with ecstatic love. And in a faltering voice, he said, "Oh my Lord, do not touch me." We have this instant, that just by that touch alone, he was infused. This is in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, the Mathura Brahman, when he was, Gopakumar told him his entire story, his whole travel. This is close to the end of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And even though this Mathura Brahman had attained the stage of bhava, and he got the special mercy of Radharani, who sent Gopakumar to go get this person and bring him home. He's qualified. You have to bring him the rest of the way. He's close to the finish line. But even after, Sanatana Goswami said, even after he had told him his entire story, he still wasn't attained, a prema. He hadn't got that last little bit. So Gopakumar reached out and touched him on the head. And when he touched him on the head, he infused him with prema. And he got that instant mercy. So shoulder to shoulder, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami began to cry unlimitedly. Chandrasekhar was very much astonished to see this. Catching his hand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Sanatana Goswami inside and made him sit on an elevated place next to him. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began cleansing Sanatana Goswami's body with his own transcendental hand, Sanatana Goswami said, "Oh my Lord, please do not touch me." The Lord replied, "I am touching you just to purify myself, because by the force of your devotional service, you can purify the whole universe." Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage because of their purity. They are constant companions of the Lord. Therefore, they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. Purport. In this verse was spoken by Maharaj Yudhisthira to Vidura in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a verse quoted by Lord Chaitanya. And we find that a lot in here, that he's quoting Bhagavad Gita, he's quoting Srimad Bhagavatam, and these are the verses in his preaching. It's these Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat, they're full of these verses. This verse was spoken by Maharaj Yudhisthira to Vidura in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 10. Vidura was returning home after visiting sacred places of pilgrimage, and Maharaj Yudhisthira was receiving his saintly uncle. In essence, Maharaj Yudhisthira was saying, "My dear Lord Vidura, you yourself are a holy place because you are an advanced devotee. People like you always carry Lord Vishnu within their hearts. You can revitalize all the holy places after they have been polluted by the pilgrimages of sinners. A sinful person goes to a holy place of pilgrims to be purified. In a holy place, there are many saintly people and temples of Lord Vishnu. However, the holy place becomes infected with the sins of many visitors. When an advanced devotee goes to a holy place, he counteracts all the sins of the pilgrims. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhisthira addressed Vidura in this way. Since an advanced devotee carries Lord Vishnu within his heart, he is a moving temple and a moving Vishnu. An advanced devotee does not need to go to the holy places, for wherever he stays is a holy place. In this connection, Narottam Das Thakur states, Tirthayartha Parishrama Kevala Manir Brahma. Visiting holy places is simply another type of bewilderment. Since an advanced devotee does not need to go to a holy place, why does he go? The answer is that he goes simply to purify that place. Vidura, here as we understand, is a very powerful devotee. And he had the power also to bestow prema to individuals because he was a pure devotee to describe. But when he got Dhritarashtra to leave, he went by to get his brother to leave the house. You're staying here like some kept dog, in this house. You need to get out of here. Of course, Duryodhana kicked Vidura out, pointed to the door and said, you leave, But anyway, his brother took his advice, and it's described that he could have actually given him Krishna Prema, but Vidura didn't give it to him. He gave him Prema, Vaikuntha, that mercy that he could go to Vaikuntha to describe, that he had the power. So these devotees like Gopakumar, once you got Prema, you can give that Prema and help others. That's why the association of a pure devotee there's nothing more valuable anywhere. Is the association of a pure devotee. It's what that person can give. Okay, text 58. Lord Krishna said, even though a person is a very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literatures, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is in pure devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental speculation. Indeed, all respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipful as I am. This verse is included in, this purport Prabhupada mentions, is included in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, chapter 10, text 127, and it's compiled by Sanat Goswami. So you hear, there's an example where he hears the instructions from Lord Chaitanya, and then he adds that in the book that he writes, the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Okay. Text 59, translation. One may be born in a Brahmin family and have all 12 Brahminical qualities. But if he is not a devotee to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala, who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmin family or to have Brahminical qualities is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee of the Lord. If a Svapacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself, but his whole family. Whereas a Brahmin, who is not a devotee, but simply has Brahminical qualifications, cannot even purify himself, what to speak of his family. Purport. This verse was spoken by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 9, text 10. A Brahmin is supposed to be qualified with 12 qualities, as stated in the Mahabharata. Dharmascha satyam cha dhammastapascha atmatsuryam hirishtitiksanasura yagnascha dinam tadirta sutram cha ratantnivayi vadasa brahmanasya. A Brahmin must be perfectly religious. He must be truthful, and he must be able to control his senses. He must execute severe austerities, and he must be detached, humble, and tolerant. He must not envy anyone, and he must be expert in performing sacrifices and giving whatever he has in charity. He must be fixed in devotional service and expert in knowledge of the Vedas. These are the 12 qualifications of a Brahmin. And the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 42, describes the Brahminical qualities in this way. Samodasatapasachan kashter arjavam evacha janam vigyanam akstikyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmins work. In the Muktapala Tika it is said, Samodamastapasauchan kashyar rajasyar java viraktaya gyanam vigyana santosya santosya satyasika swadhisatguna. Mental equilibrium, sense-control, austerity, cleanliness, tolerance, simplicity, detachment, theoretical and practical knowledge, satisfaction, truthfulness, and firm faith in the Vedas are the 12 qualities of a Brahmin. This verse, talks about how that one person in a family can deliver everybody. And in the just reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, in a family you have the husband and wife, just one of the two who's performing devotional service, the other one gets the benefit. Text 60. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, by seeing you, by touching you, and by glorifying your transcendental qualities, one can perfect the purpose of all sense activity. This is the verdict of revealed scriptures. And the purport, this is confirmed in the following verse in the Hari Bhakta Sudhodhya 61. My dear Vaishnav, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Touching your lotus feet is the perfection of the sense of touch. And glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. For in the material world, it is very difficult to find a pure devotee of the Lord. Millions and millions of living entities. I mean, there's billions of them. And hardly, most of them are just engaged in, material activity. That's how Lord Chaitanya started this discussion with Rupa Goswami, with breaking that down, how rare it is for an individual. Even when you get to the millions of those who understand that there's God, there's rarely one who's perfect. And even those ones that are perfect, it's hard to find one who knows who Krishna is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 62. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, "My dear Sanatan, please hear from me. Krishna is very merciful, and he is the deliverer of all fallen souls. My dear Sanatan, Krishna has saved you from Mahara Rava, life's deepest hell. He is an ocean of mercy, and his activities are very grave." Purport. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 61, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridese Arjuna tishtati. Staying within one's heart, Lord Krishna works very gravely. No one can understand how he is working. But as soon as the Lord understands the sincere activity of a person in devotional service, he helps him in such a way that the devotee cannot understand how things are happening. If the devotee is determined to serve the Lord is always prepared to help him. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenemam upayantite. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami how merciful the Lord is. Sanatana Goswami was a minister in the service of Nawab Hussain Shah. He was always mixing with material-inclined people, particularly with Muslims, meat-eaters. Although he was in intimate touch with them, by Krishna's mercy he came to find such association distasteful. Therefore he left them, as stated by Srinivasacharya, Tvaktva Turnam Ahesa Mandala Pati Shrenam Sara Tuchavat. Krishna is enlightened. Krishna enlightened Sanatana Goswami in such a way that he was able to give up all his exalted post as a minister. Thinking his material position was insignificant, Sanatana was prepared to become a mendicant. Appreciating the activities of Sanatana Goswami, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praised his action and thanked Krishna for his mercy upon him. 64. Sanatana replied, "I do not know who Krishna is. As far as I'm concerned, I have been released from prison only by your mercy." Sanatana Goswami mentioned here, Lord Chaitanya mentioned here about Krishna being in the heart. And I was listening to a lecture yesterday by Prabhupada, and he was talking Chaita Guru. And the Chaita Guru is the guru that's in one's heart, right? Who you're serving. Right? As Prabhupada said, this is also, he's a resident of one's heart. The one's Chaita Guru. The one's worshipful Lord in the form of the spiritual master. 65. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Sanatana Goswami, "How were you released from prison?" Sanatana then described the story from beginning to end. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I met your two brothers, Rupa and Anupama, at Prayag. They have now gone to Vrindavan. By the order of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami met both Tapanam Rishya and Chandrasekhar. Tapanam Rishya then extended an invitation to Sanatana, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sanatana to go get shaved. After this, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Chandrasekhar and asked him to take Sanatana Goswami with him. He also asked him to take away Sanatana's present dress. His brother-in-law tried to do the same thing. We just read. He wanted to. Chandrasekhar then made Sanatana Goswami look like a gentleman. He took him to bathe in the Ganges, and afterwards he brought him a new set of clothes. Purport. The words brata, karna, are significant in this verse. Due to his long hair, mustache, and beard, Sanatana Goswami looked like a Dharavesa, or hippie. So there's a Sanskrit word for hippie. What did Prabhupada say about a hippie when reporters asked him, what is a hippie? And the Prabhupada said, oh, you know better than me. And then what did Prabhupada say? Something extraordinary. And they all cracked up. They all laughed, Okay. Due to his long hair and mustache and beard, Sanatana Goswami looked like Dharavesa, or a hippie. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like Sanatana Goswami's hippie features, he immediately asked Chandrasekhar to get him shaved clean. Right? So Prabhupada's coming in, he was in this same mood. If anyone with long hair or a beard wants to join this Krishna conscious movement and live with us, he must similarly shave himself clean. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered long hair objectionable. Sanatana Goswami was saved from a hellish condition, Maharava, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maharava is a hell wherein animal killers are placed. In this regard, refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 26, text 10 through 12. Even see now sometimes it's fashionable and just people growing out long hair and beards and different type. And Juma Swami, he did that for a while. He drew the line. He wouldn't allow anybody in those kirtans, those to have long hair and beard. He didn't want them to shave up. It seems to be creeping in a little bit. I guess his tolerance is what. But Prabhupada had a standard. 71. Chandrasekhar offered a new set of garments to Sanatana Goswami, but Sanatana did not accept them. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard news of this, he became unlimitedly happy. After bathing at noon, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Tapanam Mishra for lunch. He took Sanatana Goswami with him. After washing his feet, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down for lunch and asked Tapanam Rishi to supply Sanatana Goswami lunch also. Tapanam Rishi then said, Sanatana has some duty to perform. Therefore, he cannot accept lunch now. At the conclusion of his meal, I shall supply Sanatana Goswami some remnants. So I don't know if I've read that verse where he rejected that Chandrasekhar offered a new garment to Sanatana Goswami, but Sanatana did not accept them. When Lord Chaitanya heard this news, he was unlimitedly happy. Yeah, I did read that. After eating, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took rest for a while. Tapanam Rishi then gave Sanatana Goswami the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Tapanam Mishri offered Sanatana Goswami a new cloth. He did not accept it. Instead, he spoke as follows. If you want to give me some cloth, according to your desire, please give me an old cloth you have used. When Tapanam Mishri gave Sanatana Goswami a used dhoti, Sanatana Goswami immediately tore it to pieces and made 2 sets of outer cloth and underwear. When Sri Chaitanya, that's a dhoti, right? So he gave him an old cloth, a used dhoti. So apparently he tore it in half and then makes some kopans. So then he wear it at like a, and we see the pictures of how they dressed. They wore above the knees. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, it stated that anything wore above the knees, one is considered naked in public. If you go out in public with wearing anything above, in a civilized society, you're considered naked. So those renunciates, renounced people, that's how they dressed. There was some little monster. Of course, you do in India, sometimes see these old yogis or sages sometimes walking naked, in Kumbh Mela and stuff. You'll see them, but still, some of them will walk without anything. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the Maharishi and Brahmin to Sanatana Goswami, the Brahmin immediately invited Sanatana Goswami for meals. The Brahmin said, "My dear Sanatan, as long as you remain in Kashi, please accept lunch at my place." Anybody got any comments or any questions, anything they want to add? Yeah. They wore kopans? Yeah. And an outer cloth, yeah. That's what it was described, yeah. Like a lungi? Yeah. They did, the Goswamis, no, they weren't totally nude, no.
That's all. Okay.
He's done, okay, no. They were renounced, purely, I mean, you can't get much more renounced than Rupa and Sanatana Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami and Lochan, these 6 Goswami. That's pretty serious. Understanding exactly what renunciation is, Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya is a type of, it's a renounced position, but then you understand that you can use something in Krishna's service that you're not attached to. It's something that you're not attached to. That's a key part of that you can use. If you've got some attachment, that's still something left in your heart. It's like Ishan had that coin, even though he was serving Sanatana Goswami, he still had that little bit. So that wasn't pure renunciation. So Yukta Vairagya is a pure renunciation, but you can use stuff like Prabhupada was not attached to all the money. He wasn't attached to anything. He could use it all for Krishna's service. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami in the Chaitanya Bhagavad said that everything in this material world could be used for either sense gratification or to serve Krishna. Everything. Depends on what your mentality is. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, text 81. Sanatana replied, "I shall practice the process of Madhukari. Why should I accept full meals in the house of a Brahmin?" Purport. The word Madhukari comes from the word Madhukara, which refers to bees collecting pollen from flower to flower. Madhukari is a saintly person or a mendicant who does not accept a full meal at one's house, but begs from door to door, taking a little food from each householder's place. In this way, he does not overeat or give householders unnecessary trouble. A person in the renounced order may beg, but not cook. His begging should not be a burden for the householders. The Madhukari process is strictly to be followed by a Babaji, that is, one who has attained the Paramahamsa stage. This practice is still current in Vrindavan, and there are many places where alms are offered. Unfortunately, there are many beggars who have come to Vrindavan to accept alms but not follow the principles of Sanatana Goswami. People try to imitate him and lead an idle life by practicing Madhukari. It is most impossible to strictly follow Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Goswami. It is better to accept food offered to Krishna in the temple than to try to imitate Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Goswami. Yukta virahasya yukta chitasya karmasu yukta swapana bojasa yoga bhavati dukha. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. The idea of sannyas strictly follows the ways of practice. The idea of sannyas strictly follows the ways practiced by the Goswamis. Text 82. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt unlimited happiness to observe Sanatana Goswami's strict following of the principles of sannyas. However, he repeatedly glanced at the woolen blanket Sanatana Goswami was wearing. Right? That's his brother-in-law gave him that blanket. Right? Remember? Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was repeatedly glancing at this valuable wooden blanket, Sanatana Goswami could understand that the Lord did not approve of it. Then he began to consider a way to give it up. Thinking in this way, Sanatana went to the bank of the Ganges to bathe. While there he saw that a mendicant from Bengal had washed his quilt and spread it out to dry. Sanatana Goswami then told the Bengali mendicant, "My dear brother, please do me a favor. Trade me your quilt for this woolen blanket." The mendicant replied, "Sir, you are a respectable gentleman. Why are you joking with me? Why would you trade your valuable blanket for a torn quilt?" All right? We're always suspicious. What do you want? What do you really want? You know, what are you trying to get from me? Sanatana Goswami said, "I am not joking. I am speaking the truth. Kindly take this blanket in exchange for your torn quilt." Saying this, Sanatana Goswami exchanged the blanket for the quilt. He then returned to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the quilt on his shoulder. When Sanatana Goswami returned, the Lord asked, "Where's your woolen blanket?" Sanatana Goswami then narrated the whole story to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, "I have already deliberately considered this matter. Since Lord Krishna is very merciful, he has nullified your attachment for material things. Why should Krishna allow you to maintain a last bit of material attachment? After vanquishing a disease, a good physician does not allow any of the disease to remain. It is contradictory to practice madhukari and at the same time wear a valuable blanket. One loses his spiritual strength by doing this, and one will also become an object of jokes." Sanatana Goswami replied, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead has saved me from the sinful life of material existence. By his desire, my last piece of material attraction is now gone." Being pleased with Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed his causeless mercy upon him. By the Lord's mercy, Sanatana Goswami received a spiritual strength to inquire from him. So now we're getting, Lord Sanatana Goswami is cleaned up, he surrendered to Lord Chaitanya, and now the scene is being set for the conversation that those two are going to have. Questions and answers. That'll take up 3 chapters. 21, 22, 23, 24, or 25 is the Atmaram verse. So we're going to stop there. It's a good place to stop.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki!
Thank you. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jai.
Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundaram Kandar ako idamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham
Page 31. Hari Hey Dayala Mora Jaya Radhana Jaya Radhana Baro baro e baro taho nijasa nijasa bahudani brahmi nata Loinu Shara Vigaminata Loinu Shara Nicha Gune Kripa Kora Adamatara Jagata Karana Tumi Jagata Jiva Jagata Jiva Toma Jada Karana Radharama তুমি ভুবনের পাচি তুমি উপেক্ষিলে না তা কি হইবে গাছি Bhaviyante kinue jagata majare kinue jagata majare Bhaviyante kinue Soma vine keo nahi dashe udare dashe udare Hari he dayala mora Jaya Radhana Jaya Lamura Jaya Radhana Baro Baro E Baro Laho Nijasa Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda, Jaya Shri Radhe, Radha Goloka Nanda, Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda, Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Nanda Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe. O Hari, O my merciful Lord, all glories to you. O Lord of Radha, again and again I have pleaded with you, and now I beg you yet again to accept me as your own. O Lord, hopelessly taking birth over and over, I have now come to you for refuge. Please show your merciful nature and deliver this wretched soul. You are the cause of the universe and its very life. Other than you, O lover of Radha, there is no shelter. You bring about auspiciousness for the world, and you are the master of all the worlds as well. O Lord, what will become of me if you forsake me? I have understood, after contemplating my predicament, that within this world there is no one who can deliver this servant but you. Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Jito Darpanam Arjanam Bhavamahajavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarinam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandamburi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Diswadanam Sarvatma Sampanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahura Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Nitami Amita Smarane Nakala Eta Jasita Vakriban Magavan Mamapi Turdaiva Medrishahihananina Nuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtani. I think smile. Nadanam Najanam Nasundayam. Pavatad Bhaktira Hutikri Tvai Ainantantanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Vibhaya Bhakmana Pandachita. Nagadam Taramahare Pavishati Yuga Yutam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravishayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashri Shabaparavam Adarshamar Guru Tava Yatatatalanalampato Pranastu Saevanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan. Cleanses the heart of all the dust of accumulated knowledge and the life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of approach you by your holy name. I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a calm state of mind, strong and street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I want beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean and place me in one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord,
decorative tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name.
When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body
serenade the visitation of me?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considered
a moment to be like to have you more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like dews of rain. I feel more baby
Yeah.
to the Lord who has. I know the one by Krishna as my Lord, and
He shall make roughly by his embrace, or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Radha Golokananda ki jai.
Finally, safely reached